Shalom, shalom. First off, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well. Salutation to you, Akims, preaching this truth in sincerity. Present your bodies as living sacrifice on Mashiach of Children of the Light. Hoping I can edify you with another lesson. So, this video I have right here was a rebuke video done by the brothers, biblical defenders. Shalom to that brother and Tawada, because he did a very good lesson on it. And one of the brothers in the camp actually sent this to the camp channel, so all of the Akims watched it. I watched it as well, and I wanted to find the original video, but I couldn't. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of the Akim biblical defender, his video, and then just going to add some precepts on top of that. I'll also be pasting the original link in the bio as well. So we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to let this video play a little bit. Let's skip ahead to this. Skip ahead to, this idiot talking.
Arms cover a multitude of sins. Make sure that you guys, all right, take advantage of this sale, right? It ends tonight at 11:59 p.m.
So this is my first time coming across whoever the hell he is and whatever he stands for, right? And again, this only came to my attention through the Akim biblical defender, right? So I tried to find the original video, whoever this idiot is, I couldn't find it. So I just want to add some precepts on top of it. Again, I'll paste the original link in my bio of biblical defenders rebuking this, so you can watch it. But already, right, we see that whoever this is not sincere in the truth, right? Because the first thing he's doing is selling you something, right? This truth, this doctrine is free to be given, right? Which is why, the apostles and elders at Great Millstone urge all of us to become teachers, because we're supposed to teach this, right? We're not selling it. It's not a gimmick, right? But already we can see this brother is selling and making merchandise of the truth.
Right. Use code PASAK14 for 14% off your HIB order at hibofficialzion.com. The link should also be in the description. All right. In addition to that, all right, today's lesson is sponsored by yours truly. All right. And I was working today. Brother put in a bulk order.
So, right. Apparently, this brother, he's selling tassels, right? Or fringes, right? Now, but if that's the case, then why you not sticking to the law? Why you got a pair of Jordan 5s up here with the fringes, right? Fringes, the fringe is supposed to go on the garments. If that's what we keeping, right? If we keeping the word, right? So he's supposed to do the border blue and on the garments, right? But why you got the Jordan 5s up here, right? You talking about your half off sale, your sponsorship? Are you a brother sincerely trying to teach the people of Israel, or are you trying to be a walking, talking billboard and a businessman in this thing? You see what I'm saying? So I just want to jump to 2 Peter. I do have it pulled up. So this is 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. And later on, you will hear the brother talking about, I'm sorry, he's not a brother. Later on, you'll hear that guy talking about, when you on his page, don't try to teach because he's on there teaching, right? Okay, so, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. So, who's ever watching this guy and learning from him or intermingle with him, you got to be very careful, because who you follow, the Lord's going to hold you accountable for that, man. He's not going to say, oh, you didn't know, so it's okay. No, you still gonna get smoked for following that. Just like I believe Isaiah the 9th chapter tells us, right? The leaders of this people calls them the earth, and those that are led by them are destroyed. So if you following false prophets and false teachers, man, there's no exemption from you, right? There's no leniency from you. Who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction, because they will be destroyed swiftly, right? That second death. That second death is death by fire. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Right, by the way of truth they speak in evil. So while it appears that he's, preaching in us and teaching in sincerity, and he's telling you about the fringes and the tassels in sincerity, it's not, man, because he's really making merchandise of this truth, right? It's not like, you making a few bucks here, whatever the case may be, because, you really putting in a lot of work with the Occams or whatever the case may be. Nah, man. You got half off deals and you got sales and talking about today's sponsorship. So who's tomorrow's sponsorship going to be by? And if you sponsored by somebody, you understand, most likely you got to give a message that's going to align to their sponsorship, because you could be bought and sold, right? That's why the scriptures say a gift destroyeth the heart. Somebody gives you something or gifts you with something that really softens your stance on a certain point. Well, this person did this for me, so I have to do that for them, right? The quid pro quo comes into that when that scripture says that, right? Surely oppression make a wise man mad. Oppression makes a wise man mad, right? Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. When you got sponsorships, the same way we see with the programming on TV, when they have their sponsors, if those networks start doing weird stuff and they going off script, they gonna pull their sponsor and their dollarships, their dollars. And when the network starts feeling that decline in finance, they gonna be trying to, well, what we gotta do to play ball? Not saying that that's what this guy doing, but that's for you to look out for, right? Because I'm not trying to bring up any false accusations. Right now, I'm making a observation, right? A guesstimation, but I'm not bringing that up. So that's for you to pay attention of. If whoever tomorrow's sponsor is and the next sponsor, you got to pay attention to that, and you got to put it into your mental bank and say, oh man, this could be going in a way where it's not sincere and truth, because you shouldn't be able to be bought and sold, right? This message shouldn't be bought and sold. The scripture should not be bought and sold. Understand? So where was I at? Who will bring swift destruction, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken. And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you. And going back, right? Where that video at? Right, through feigned words, half off. Use code Passat, right? Like, come on, man. Like, these are the feigned words to make merchandise of you, so you can buy your tassel, so you can keep the law. That's your real example of that. So let's let it play some more
of tassels. All right, as we want to dive into the in the presentation, right? It's the Hebrew word gadolium, right? Gadolium is the word, right? So we have to bust down tassels or gadolium by yours truly, right? Numbers 15 and 38, those are zeets, right? Or zeets. Deuteronomy 22 and 12 are gadolium. There is a difference, and we're going to dive into the difference. Now, I did a lesson similar to this years ago, right? Probably about 3-4 years ago, right? And I was told to take down the video. You want to know why? Because it was so-called causing confusion. right? Brothers were watching the video, watching the breakdown, right? Seeing how there's two different types of fringes, and guess what? We're required to keep the laws of God, and sin is the transgression of the law, right? And unknown, please just do not come to this channel to teach, right? This is my platform where I'm teaching here from the House of Bread. Do not come to my chat, to my channel, and try to teach.
And right there, right? So we can already tell this guy is not sincere, right? Because he can't accept correction, and he can't be edified, right? He's feminine. And since he's talking about the laws, what do the laws tell us? The laws tell us that a man should not be effeminate, right? He should not have feminine ways. And right now, this guy's displaying some very feminine ways, right? Don't this is me teaching. Don't come on here teaching. You get, well, brother. If you wrong, then you have to be able to accept correction, right? A man should not be effeminate. I gotta learn how to spell, y'all. So like him, just bear with me 1 second. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, cool. Let's get to it. Thank you for being with me for a second. Leviticus 20 and 13. Let's see if I can find it. Let's do the search. I never use this, and I need to. Here we go. Right. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Right. That's the question. Right. Know you not? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, and that's what I was meant by earlier. Be not deceived. Because if you deceive in unrighteousness, you're responsible for your unrighteousness. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, right? Effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, right? And this guy got some very feminine mannerisms.
Anything. Thank you very much.
Right.
Right.
Thank you very much. Right. Don't come on my channel to teach. This is why I'm teaching that. Thank you very much. Well, brother, if you going off, then you should want to be rebuked so you can correct yourself swiftly. Right? So, again, going back to 2 Peter, you got to watch out for guys like this. Because I watched this video, and every bit of the video, this brother's going off. And then you going to go and do business with this man? And then let him send you off, and he's talking about the law? Right? Well, if he's talking about the law, let's talk about the law then. Do I have to pull it up again? I believe, yeah, Galatians 5 and start at 3. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, right? Those are the circumcision, those under the law, that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Okay. Yahweh Hamashiach is become of no effect unto you. What does that mean? When you are accountable to the law, when you say you follow the law, you make Yahweh Shah become void, because Yahweh Shah came to bring you grace from the law. So when you say you follow the law, you got to follow the law, that means you don't need grace. That means you don't need Yahweh Shah. Hamashiach is become of no effect unto you. Whosoever you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace. That's right. So when you say, I keep the law, I walk in the law, I do this, then you don't need Yahweh Shah. You don't need him to come back, right? You don't need salvation because you perfect. So when you hear these guys talking like this, get away from them. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only perfect man that anyone has ever known is Yahweh Shah the Mashiach. The only perfect man that kept every law. And he came to bring us grace from the law.
Right, brothers were watching the video, watching the breakdown, right, seeing how there's two different types of fringes, and guess what? We're required to
Oh, and then, okay, go ahead.
keep
We're
the
required.
laws of God, and sin is the transgression of the law.
Sin is the transgression of the law. So if you keeping all of the laws, you perfect. You don't need Yahweh Shah, right? Okay, cool. I do want to go. So I'm right now thinking about one of the Akim's Quran, and this is one of his favorite scriptures. He loved to bring this up. Right, gonna go on Proverbs 30. Proverbs. That's right. Here we go. Proverbs 30 and 12. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation. Oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. Right. That's these guys, man. Pure in their own eyes and not yet washed from their filthiness. How you talking about this my channel, this my platform? No, this is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah platform, man. And you playing with this truth and you playing with this word and you gonna get smoked. You ain't got no platform, nigga. This belongs to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. You playing games. You playing big games. You already said that you already said you got to keep the law. Okay, cool. So if you are a debitor to the law, which means you are indebted to the law, it says it right here. Yahweh Shah Mashiach become of no effect unto you, and you justified by the law. You falling from grace, man. You out of order, and you going off, and you a weirdo,
Right. And unknown, please just do not come to this channel to teach, right? This is my platform where I'm teaching here from the House of Bread. Do not come to my chat, to my channel, and try to teach anything. Thank you very much. Right? Oversized heavy.
man. But you shouldn't be teaching nothing. You a novice, man. Lifted up in pride. Oh, and I'm glad you brought up these weak ass t-shirts. Let's go into it.
T-shirt, right? We got the Fear of Yahweh t-shirts, the Israelite supremacist crew.
Now I can go back to 2 Peter. Now I can go back to 2 Peter, right? But there would be false prophets also among the people, even there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destructions. I'm going to skip down to 2 and 3. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you. Cool, because at first you was just selling them weak ass tassels. Now you trying to sell these weak ass t-shirts, knowing you shouldn't be making merchandise of the truth. Right? And that's what this is going into. Come on, man. How you try? Come on, man. You selling t-shirts in the name of the Lord? For real, brother? And then you go and you talk about keeping the laws? Come on, man. You shouldn't be teaching at all. You should not be leading nothing. If you were head of a church, a bishop, or anything, you're supposed to be blameless. That means nobody can bring up anything against you. If you go into 1 Samuel, when Samuel was talking to the elders of Israel because they wanted a king, Samuel said, have I defrauded any man? Have I done any wrong to any man? Basically, he was establishing that no one was able to bring up anything about his name in a negative way. They said, yeah. He said, okay, well, here go the word at the Most High. Well, here's what I'm about to tell you. Come on, man. You people, you guys got blemishes, man. And anybody following these idiots, you a bigger idiot. And you gonna get smoked. And I gotta say it like that because I may be rude in speech, but I'm sincere and genuine in, rebuking these people and defending the scriptures as we are called to do. Right? And you got to be able to call out these people that's going to lead you to damnation, that's going to lead you to getting smoked. that's gonna lead you to getting hit by those missiles, getting hit by that fire, the fire of the Lord. You understand?
Brunette, right? Israelite supremacist snapback, Mawak ball t-shirts. We got the Hebrew department, Isaiah 47 sitting in the dust joints, right? And we got some more stuff coming very, very soon, right? So we're on a couple samples, and Lord willing, we'll have those available on the site.
Lord willing, we gonna have more stuff to sell y'all on the site. Cool. Let's jump here with that. No, I want Mark 4. Let's jump here with that. The parable of the sower. Now I'm gonna jump. Now I'm gonna jump down to 4 and 8. No 7. I gotta set it up. Mark 4 and 1. And so this is Yahushua teaching. And he began again to teach by the sea, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine, Behold, there went out a sower to sow. This is Yahushua teaching the multitude, talking to the multitude in parables. Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. And that sower is Yahushua. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no roots, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. Right? So this is a parable of the sower. The sower is Yahushua, to sow, right? To sow, this truth. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And then now we're going to jump down to the explanation of the parable, right? And what I'm going to read it all, but I really want to point out 4:19. So I'm going to do 4:19, right? And I'm going to go back and read it. Because 4:19 is what happened to these people, right? So this is the explanation. 4:19 and 4:18. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in, choking the word, and it become unfruitful. And that's these guys, right? Yahushua came to, Yahushua came and sowed, right? And these guys, they heard the word. But what? The cares of this world, the money, the sponsorship, right? The selling of merchandise, the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it became unfruitful. And these guys are unfruitful, man. So, I'm glad that I was able to see this video, and I'm glad that everyone else is able to see this video.
Right, so just tap in with us here, family. In Power of Fringes, you've been lied to. You've been taught that you can wear either or.
See, man, he's stuck on selling merch and fringes. But let me break down the explanation. Mark 4:13, he said unto them, Know ye not this parable? And how then when you know all parables? Right, if you don't know this, the soweth the word. Yahushua soweth the word. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Right. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. So they receive it. and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterwards, when affliction and persecution arise for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Right? So they hear the word, right? The ones on stony grounds. They hear the word, they happy. Oh, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, I'm chosen. Yeah. But because, right, it says, and they have no root in themselves, right? Which means because they are not deeply rooted in this truth and they don't believe and they are not sincere. So they endure for a little bit of time, right? But as soon as they find out, oh, I can't eat pork. Oh, I can't have sex on the Sabbath. Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta do this. They are offended and they gonna fall out. And these are they which are sown among the thorns. And that's these guys, man. These guys are sown among the thorns. Right? Such as they hear the word and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things enter in and choke it. They sponsors come in and say, you can't use the name Yahweh Shah no more. They gonna start saying Christ. They sponsors come in and say, no man, go ahead and just talk about how you gotta keep the laws, but you don't talk about, why Yahweh Shah came to bring grace. You know? Tell them that you can, wear your hat when you preaching. Tell them that you could pop your woman on the Sabbath. Or tell them that you could eat pork because you got grace. See, that's these guys, man. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word, right? You hear it and receive it, right? So you hear it, right? You hear the word, it resonates with you, you receive it, and you bring forth. So there's an action that's involved, and you bring forth some fruit, right? So this is when you become that good. This is when you become that good teacher, and you start teaching other brothers in sincerity, right? Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100, and some brothers will bring in more than others, right? But the point of this is to bring more good fruit back to Yahweh Shah, right? And you know, just again, right? They get offended by the word, right? You can't have threesomes. You got to stay out the world. You got to study. You got to become a new creature, man. And that 4:17, I had to make sure I say that as well, right? So yeah, man, that's just man, these guys is a joke. And again, Biblical Defenders did a great job. Shalom at the water Shalom to that brother that did the original lesson. But I'm gonna end the end just say Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.